Hello there, it's Tania Gabrielle, Wealth Astro-Numerologist. Welcome to Star Codes, where we look at the forecast for the stars and numbers. And today we're going to focus on the Virgo full moon happening on February 27th at 8:17 a.m. Universal Time. That is 3:17 a.m. Eastern New York and 12:17 a.m. shortly after midnight Pacific Time, LA. Now, this Virgo full moon couldn't come at a better time, where the sun is in Pisces, the sign of peace, and the moon, of course, is in Virgo, the sign connected to Earth and the sustenance of our beautiful planet, everything that nourishes us, that is beautiful, crystals, flowers, the microcosm, the macrocosm of cellular activity, life on this planet. It is such a beautiful moment for this because we've been, in a sense, captured by so much that is keeping us closed in, and we're coming up to the anniversary of when we were put on lockdown. And so this full moon in Virgo is literally extricating our souls from that feeling of not feeling liberated to move and explore the beauty surrounding us, right? Now, to make this even more exciting, the moon is almost exactly trine to Uranus. Uranus, the freedom planet. Uranus, the planet that governs the Aquarian age. And the sun in Pisces is conjunct to abundant Venus. Venus, the planet of pleasure and beauty, music, art, self-expression, abundance. So we have this invitation from the celestial universe to get greater clarity through Virgo on how we truly feel, to surround ourselves with those things that truly inspire us, to the point where we just let go and forego our attachments to whatever is instilling fear or worry, and just allow beauty to infuse our soul. Virgo is a sign of personal transformation, and reflection is very much part of this creative cycle. Mercury rules Virgo, and in a way Chiron is a co-ruler of Virgo, Chiron the healer, because Virgo rules the sixth house of health and healing and your daily life. And so Virgo's love of self-growth and self-mastery and self-awareness creates a calling for us to join together, to be of service to each other, to reveal the truth without worry about the repercussions, to welcome journeys of self-discovery. And the sun in Pisces is sensitizing our heart at the same time, so that we are open and free to reflect and welcome the beauty, the extraordinary love and compassion that is naturally always there, part of our creation, right? So we're being filled with this sense of empathy and compassion. And this conjunction with Venus and the sun, is also complemented by another conjunction. It's actually a stellium, a triple conjunction between Jupiter, Mercury, and Saturn. And they are in Aquarius. So they're setting the stage again for the new age that we are now acclimating to over the next decades and even centuries, to take root in our hearts, right? So that we can accept the bounty of Virgo, Venus conjunct Sun, the abundance, the fortune, the pleasure, and allow that to manifest through positive communication, because Mercury, ruler of Virgo, official ruler of Virgo, is about the message, the messenger. So, as I mentioned, during this full moon, we have the amazing transit of moon opposite Venus, sun conjunct Venus. This is really tapping into love, turning to beauty, feeling sensual, sharing your love with others, being acutely focused on self-expression, art, music, beautiful scents, beautiful flowers, intimate affection. And this is one of those moments where your inner creator is really wanting to express himself or herself. And what is aiding that is Moon trine Uranus. So this beautiful trine, which is creating a sextile to the sun, so it's like this big, beautiful triangle, is be open to the unusual. Be open to thinking outside the box, acting on your intuitive, instinctual urges. Anything that may have seemed radical or too different or too weird or too woo-woo, whatever the case may be, it needs to be investigated now. The inner inquiry that is naturally Virgo is asking you to pursue those very experiences and ideas, books, videos, whatever the case may be, that satisfy your urge to explore the unusual. Because you're really yearning here with this trine to Uranus for emotional freedom, for freedom from being afraid to express yourself. The total freedom of expression is here. Your inner genius, right? The thing that makes you unique, the thing that allows you to explore anything. And of course, overall, this transit to Uranus ties it together with the Aquarian age, which is about reform and change and making new plans about the future, discarding the old ways, right? So your inner independent spirit is very inquisitive, is much more versatile, is open to unique perspectives. And your higher mind is really activated. Uranus rules the higher mind, the divine intelligence, the invention, the curiosity. We also have Mars trine to Pluto at 25 degrees, Mars at 27 degrees Taurus. They're in earth signs as well, Pluto being in Capricorn. And so this infuses, again, the grounding energy of having a mission and directing that energy towards fulfilling your mission, right? This trine with Mars and Pluto, the co-rulers of Scorpio, is very much about leadership, very similar to the 8 degrees, where you have this inner urgency to focus on the very things that are already shifting internally in you, and you want to go and actually make them real and create that transformation. It also heightens your ability to listen to your 5 senses, your sensual side, Pluto and Mars in this trine. So it has a very great impact on the intimacy of relationships and uncovering secrets. Pluto loves uncovering secrets, and Mars goes straight to wherever Mars needs to go. So you want to set the record straight. You want to really tune into the truth. The truth shall set you free. Again, it is one of the mottos for the whole century, but right now really being activated. Also part of this full moon in Virgo is Saturn sextile Chiron. Now, I would mention earlier that I feel Chiron is also part of the Virgo experience. Chiron is not aligned to any sign. Chiron was discovered in 1977, and in the astrology community is not assigned to a sign. I guess that takes a while. I personally feel Chiron should be a co-ruler to Virgo, because Chiron is the sacred healer. Some call Chiron the wounded healer. Virgo is the ruler of the 6th house of health and healing and your daily life. So it's a beautiful connection there with Chiron, healing through love. So with Saturn, the ruler of the past, right? The past paradigm, ruler of time, grounding, being responsible. Saturn sextile Chiron means be responsible for your health and healing. You have the security now. You have the inner I feel good sense to really be very, to really address at soul level what it is that brings you peace and brings you a sense of health, good health, feeling good. And so this will be a very beautiful time to focus on your health and anything that brings to life the Saturn continual energy of love and healing. Now, Saturn is square to Uranus. This is a very big activation that started this month in February. And it is the activation of the whole year. And I created a whole Star Codes podcast on Saturn square Uranus. So please go back and watch that. I believe it's episode 95. And you'll be able to tune into this incredible tension that we feel now between freedom and responsibility that is asking us to harness our creative brilliance. And the importance, I'm going to go into this in a moment even more, the importance of meditation practices to calm that inner tension that may arise. Because we're basically coming to terms with the authority figures, the top-down doctrines, programming from eons right now, which is represented by Saturn, and extricating ourselves through Uranus, setting us free from those patterns without losing stability, right? So still staying in a sense of inner peace and security, but totally understanding that, there is an invitation to completely discard those beliefs and values and ideas and directions and goals that just don't line up with who we are. And that takes a lot of courage. And so our understanding of who we are at soul level, of course, is enhanced by the practices of astrology and numerology, because they give us that other beautiful spiritual perspective that is lacking and has been lacking for eons. It's been ripped from our whole experience on Earth, right? It was replaced by doctrines and just you being asked to adhere to a certain set of rules. And if you don't adhere to them, you are an outcast. Well, now being an outcast is the key with Aquarius and Uranus. So Uranus square Saturn is absolutely huge. And so be sure to watch that other episode where I go very deeply into what this actually means. Again, Virgo governs the environment. Your environment is so important. Virgo symbolizes the items you surround yourself with. So it is very important during this time, around the full moon on February 27th, to create a beautiful, peaceful environment. So the fewer objects you have in your surroundings, the less distractions there are, right? Maintaining a lot of possessions does take time. So as long as the things you have around you are emitting and infusing you with peaceful vibrations, they're pleasing, they give you pleasure, they uplift you every time you walk by them. That is what you want to focus on. So like I said, it's like a feng shuiing of your life, of your environment. And ask yourself, do I love every object in my home? Every book, every picture, every piece of furniture, every painting, anything that is not resonating with you. It's a great time to give it away or discard it. So then ask yourself, do I have Virgo-inspired items in my home? So Earth-inspired, because our life is on planet Earth. And so when we bring the life that is nourished by Mother Earth into our home, it connects us to who we are in human form, right? It's a beautiful affirmation of life. So those would be crystals. Do you have crystals? Do you have shells? Do you have flowers? Beautiful flowers, plants? Do you have rocks? Do you have fountains? All of those are beautiful reminders, right, of how you appreciate, you're grateful for being here. So loving what's in front of you will put you in the present moment rather than loving your thoughts. So being in your headspace is the antithesis of love, right? Because staying present doesn't happen through thinking. Staying present happens through being. So if you are being nourished by your environment, you are already a step ahead, right? So Another thing about any full moon is it's a great time to let go. A new moon is beginning a new cycle, and a full moon is a culmination of a cycle. So it's a good time to release. So again, don't keep things in your environment that you've had a long time just because you feel you should have them, unless you truly love them. So any pictures of you that describe an old way of being, an old identity that you've outgrown, right? Old attachments, let those go as well. Only have things in your environment that fill you with love, with joy, with gratitude, with beauty. Now, Virgo is also a reminder, because Virgo is very meticulous, to not have a messy environment. So cleaning up messes, if you're creative like I am, you do create certain messes at times on your desk, especially. I do that for sure. And then, there's got to be a time to just say, okay, we got to clear things out, things I haven't looked at, put them away, but still just focus on the fact that you need to be at rest and in a state of relaxation at all times. So a messy environment will not help you with that goal, right? And you're naturally conditioned to feel good when your environment is in order, when it is beautiful, when it is clean. I mean, just think about walking into your kitchen in the morning with dishes all over the place from the previous day. That's not a good feeling, as opposed to getting it cleaned and walking in, right? So Virgo's ability to hone in and focus helps you be very aware. So be aware of the thoughts in your mind, be aware of your environment, be aware whether your thoughts are false or true, and be aware anytime you resort to believing those thoughts that are false, right? So again, the environment plays a big role because it brings you to that present moment, as opposed to you walking like a person who's asleep, basically, or asleep if you're constantly in your head, right? It's important to completely detach from that thought stream because it isn't real. This is real, right? So Virgo reminds you of that. And Virgo can have perfectionistic tendencies, being overly caught in the matrix, the minutia, the being critical. So Virgo activations like this full moon can remind us that, the ego can't control everything. The ego likes to have anything it wants, so it's not happy when it doesn't get what it wants, and that life unfolds a lot more slowly than it wants. And in fact, the ego in general just isn't cool with a lot of things that are happening that are actually real, right? Because the ego wants everything to happen yesterday, and when it doesn't get its desires fulfilled, it lashes out. So the purpose of life for the ego is to just get everything it wants. And so Virgo can use that meticulous focus to focus on that, being childish, being primitive, not being evolved, and instead using inquiry, inner inquiry. So it's really important to switch gears. And Uranus trine to the moon is that switching of the gears moment, where you switch gears and focus on real life, focus on the present moment. And your ability to disengage from that thinking, that thought stream, is really supported through meditation. Now, meditation is a healing practice, so it is governed by Virgo, and it's also governed by Pisces, the sign that's opposite Virgo, where the sun is. Meditation helps you to develop the skills that you need to dilute and to take apart that programming. Meditation is really the best tool to do that. So if you can make meditation part of your daily life, which Virgo rules, a daily practice of meditation to speed up the process of detaching from that running programming voice in your head, and be more aware of your daily practices and adding meditation into your day, it will accelerate your spiritual evolution, your emotional evolution. It'll be really the miracle that allows you to evolve super fast. The practice of present moment awareness is no greater when the mind is stilled through meditation. So it's really time to trust to trust that you have everything you need, to trust in God, in the divine plan, not a human-created plan, right? Not a man-made plan, but to trust the stars, the numbers, the universe, the creation. And be in a place of peace, Sun in Pisces, since, the goal of darkness, because we have both light and dark, is to manufacture division and frustration and confusion and despair. So when we realize these are just manufactured, they're an illusion, they're not real, they're not aligned with your soul is none of those things, then you can actually set yourself free. And, when I feel upset about anything, of course, we're human, right? Of course, we're going to feel upset. I take a time out, and the best thing is to just find something that you appreciate, that is good, that is beautiful. Turn to that, whether it is actually smelling a flower, going out for a walk, reading a good book, something that reminds you that life is good, that love is the true reality, that love is the antidote to fear. So you're here for a reason. You're here to facilitate this amazing awakening on Earth. You're here to slay the dragon of fear and bring back the one thing that is a constant in all of creation, and that is love. There's nothing else that would explain the miraculous universe that we live in, this beautiful Earth that we have the pleasure of inhabiting for a short time. So choose love, choose inner inquiry, choose beauty to amplify your environment and uplift your life and enhance any interaction with anyone. And remember that the Venus impact is about love too. Venus is very much part of this gorgeous experience of the Virgo full moon. So have a beautiful full moon, and definitely check out your own star code at starcodeclass.com, a free masterclass I created for you. It's a beautiful time to discover your code in your birthday, your birth name, the degree numbers in your astrology birth chart, all of which are explained in a free handout that you receive. So enjoy that masterclass at starcodeclass.com and have a gorgeous week and a beautiful Virgo full moon. Lots of love.